Hip-hop legend Lil Wayne, aka Weezy F baby and the reason for Drizzle Cake, still can't get over the idea that he should be in the Super Bowl halftime show in New Orleans over King Kendrick Lamar next year. And now you have Miss Dakota looking for answers in a crowd of fans at Weezyana Fest, wondering why he was not picked by the one and only Jay-Z, aka you can't knock the hustle, you can't get to the Super Bowl halftime show without me. Because just like Jay-Z is a gatekeeper to hip hop, Jay-Z is also a gatekeeper to the NFL, being a decision maker on who headlines the Super Bowl halftime shows. And just a couple of months ago, when Wayne made an apology video for letting down his fans for not getting a halftime show, Birdman Jr. now decides to take a moment in his own festival, located in his home state, mind you, where the mayor of New Orleans and Master P are honoring Wayne's legacy, just for Wayne to cry himself a river like White JT, no Young Miami.
They'll get Super Bowl in this city. You know, that moment, it was ripped away from me. But this motherfucking moment right here.
Claiming that he always wanted a Super Bowl halftime show of his own and that the Super Bowl was taken from him, as if the Super Bowl halftime show was ever given to Wayne. But silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. Wayne is acting like the NFL and Jay-Z owe him a halftime show just because he's from Louisiana, when that is not a valid enough reason to claim a halftime show. Especially when Wayne dropped his love for cheeseheads when he released Green and Yellow, claiming to be a fan of the Green Bay Packers with no affiliation to Wisconsin.
I did the same when I moved to Miami, and I was wishing my team make it, and guess who made it? The motherfucking Saints.
Right, we can determine that.
This ain't a diss song, but yeah, you know what it is. I'm a cheesehead, y'all niggas cheese whiz.
If he's that confident, you know, I give him a little glimpse. It's crazy.
And let's not forget, the Super Bowl halftime show is going to be watched by hundreds of millions of people from all over the world who are expecting to listen to music that they can resonate with, they can dance to, vibe with, and also see a great performance. With Lil Wayne's music for the last decade, it has not met up to the same type of music that he has released from the early to mid 2000s of his hip hop career. Releasing the iconic Carter album series throughout the 2000s, dropping some of the best mixtapes hip hop has known, with his iconic Dedication mixtape series and No Ceilings mixtape featuring one of my favorite songs from Lil Wayne, Single.
Camel shouts and Bubba Kush, rather fuss. Damn, where is the fucking trust?
Written by everyone's favorite dessert, Drizzle Pie. You know I'm always gonna find a way to go back to the bakery, y'all. In all seriousness, here is why Lil Wayne discussing his halftime woes is a bad look for him anywhere that he goes. Wrong place, wrong time. As I mentioned in my intro, Lil Wayne having grievances with not getting a Super Bowl halftime appearance is not a good look for him at his own festival. If anything, Lil Wayne should have focused on giving a better show at his own festival in front of fans that paid to see him, honoring his legacy and the legacy of the Hot Boys, as Turk, BG, Juvie, and the iconic producer Manny Fresh all went on stage to back their asses up with Birdman Sr. and Birdman Jr., also known as Lil Wayne.
Got my son right, Joe Fluid, special delivery too.
To show the unity and impact that this entire Cash Money roster had on hip-hop in the late 90s and mid-2000s. And let's keep it real, the Hot Boys performing with Wayne was an incredible performance, but Wayne as a solo artist has a huge problem with performing well on stage, even when it comes to the biggest songs from his catalog. We can go back to the Carter 3. That album alone, you can play 4 or 5 records where you have Lollipop, A Milli, Mrs. Officer, Comfortable featuring Babyface, one of my favorite records from Wayne. But the problem is not the music. The problem is Wayne performing those records. At the end of the day, Wayne does not have enough of a stage presence by himself. At a Super Bowl halftime show, you're expected to have theatrics, to have the ambiance, background dancers, choreography, especially if you are not a performer or an entertainer yourself that can entertain to that capacity. So is Wayne an incredible hip hop artist? Absolutely. Does he have the music for a halftime show? Of course. But we all know if you're not able to bring a show to the type of level that a Super Bowl halftime is expecting, how are you able to really showcase these amazing songs that you have from your discography? If anything, you are showcasing your incredible music from your discography in a way that's not doing proper justice to the same songs that are considered classics from your catalog. Now they have an opportunity to hear this music and they're like, yo, what the hell is he doing on stage? If he's doing this at his own festival, what would he be doing at a Super Bowl? He has the ability, he has the music. It's the way he performs that will always deter him from ever having that Super Bowl halftime show. Not now, not never, not even in 5 years, in my humble opinion. Irrelevant to Wayne's legacy, it has just become a recent idea in the last decade for the NFL to have hip hop and hip hop artists to perform their music at the halftime shows. And they definitely didn't consider it before working with Jay-Z, as the NFL never embraced hip hop in their lineup from the last decades of them having the halftime shows. The NFL mainly including pop and rock acts for the last 3 to 4 decades. Hip hop has always had this type of treatment from other shows outside of hip hop culture. They may not want to embrace hip hop fully, but they want to invite them to the party. But again, while these awards outside of hip hop culture are appreciated when they're given to hip hop artists, it's not necessary to have these award shows, awards, and Super Bowl halftime shows at the same time. And that goes the same for Lil Wayne and his fire and desire for wanting a halftime show under his resume. It does nothing for his discography, it does nothing for his legacy, and he's expressing his frustrations with not having it to a group of fans at his festival that half of them don't even watch the Super Bowl. They could care less about that Super Bowl halftime show. If anything, he cares more about it versus his fans who care more about his legacy and how much impact he has had on their personal lives. My final thoughts. It's clear that Lil Wayne draws a huge crowd after a great turnout for Weezyana Fest this year, and it shows me that Wayne has the ability to perform a great show, and it shows me that Wayne has the ability to draw a crowd for a show like a Super Bowl halftime performance. But again, Wayne needs to work on perfecting his performance ability to deliver a much better show. And I think Wayne needs to hold his own tour for his fans that deserve a big tour headlined with other legends from Cash Money, so he can showcase his greatest songs from his discography in the best way possible. And that's where Wayne should be putting his attention to, calling up the Hot Boys again for another tour, finding a way to rub hands with Birdman and make some crazy money. Sure, call Onika and call Drizzle Cake. I mean, make him headline since you gave him a career of a lifetime.
What's up? I've been a bar. You know that. I thought I was a part of this whole movement. Like now, my heart dropped.
But also go on a tour instead of worrying about a Super Bowl halftime show to show how loved you are in hip hop and by your fans who have maintained your legacy and fought for you for so long that you are one of the greatest in hip hop. Show the world that you don't ever need a Super Bowl halftime show under your resume and that a halftime show snub is not going to take away from all the greatness that you have given to hip hop and music, in my humble opinion.
This motherfucking moment right here. They can't take that, man. They can't take that from you. Make some noise for yourself for being amazing.
Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, go be amazing and have an amazing day.